Good morning, students. Today I am going to revise these two chapters in the Kingdom of Fools and the Happy Prince from your supplementary reader. These two chapters will come in your periodic test second. Students, in the Kingdom of Fools, you have studied how the king of that kingdom as well as his minister both were fools. They had changed night into day and day into night. Means they had ordered that the people of that kingdom should work during the night and they should sleep during the day. And this rule was followed by the people of that kingdom. Students who have studied how one day a guru and his disciple came there. They reached in that kingdom and it was the daytime. They were greatly surprised to see that during the day no people were walking on the road, no people were working, but all of them were sleeping in their houses. But when the night came, they woke up from their bed and they began to work. Seeing this, the disciple as well as his guru both were greatly surprised. And they were hungry. While they had gone to purchase the things, they found that the things were very cheap and everything was to be purchased for a dodo. And the disciple was very greedy fellow and he wanted to stay there. But the guru told the disciple that it was the kingdom of fools, so they should not stay there. But the disciple told the guru that he would stay there. Then the guru had gone from that kingdom and the disciple every day was purchasing the things and he was eating, and day by day he became fighter and fighter. Students who have studied how one day a thief broke into a rich merchant's house, and while he had made a hole in the wall and he was entering the house, all of a sudden the wall fell and he died. Next day the brother of that thief complained to the king that the wall was very weak, so the merchant should be punished, because it was the house of the rich merchant. The king called the rich merchant and he wanted to punish him, but the rich merchant claimed that it was not his fault. It was the fault of the bricklayer who had made that wall. Then the bricklayer and he told that it was not his fault, because while he was making that house, he was disturbed. His mind was diverted as he had listened to the jingling sound of anger. You student who have studied, the dancing girl was called. Now she had been old and she accepted that she was going up and down and his ankles were producing jingling sound, and the bricklayer was disturbed. She accepted, but she also claimed that it was not her fault. It was the fault of black, the fault of goldsmith, because she had ordered the goldsmith to prepare some jewelry and he had not given on time, so she was going up and down many times. Then the goldsmith was called and the king wanted to punish him, but the goldsmith claimed that it was not his fault. It was the fault of a rich merchant who had ordered him to prepare some ornaments, as there was a marriage ceremony was to be held in that family. Then the king asked the name of that rich merchant, and the goldsmith told it was none other than but it was that same merchant who had claimed, though the name of that merchant though the merchant who had ordered was the father of that merchant. Now the king wanted to punish the merchant, claimed that it was not his fault. His father had ordered the goldsmith to prepare the ornaments, but the king was ready to punish him. But the king ordered the executioners to prepare the stake to punish him. When the stake was completed, when the stake was ready, the merchant was called, but the merchant was so thin, so weak, that he was not suitable to be punished by that stake. Then the king ordered that one by one every person should go there, and if anyone was suitable for that stake would be punished. Students, you have studied how at last the disciple of that guru was caught and he was brought to that place of execution, and he had been now so fat that he was suitable to be punished by stake, and he was taken to that place. And students, you have studied how on that day the disciple remembered the words of his guru, and he was very sad. He was thinking that he had not followed the words of his guru, and due to that he was going to be punished. Students, who have studied that the guru had known about this, and he came there and he whispered some words into the ear of disciple. After that, the guru asked a question to the king, whether Guru is great or the disciple is great. Who is greater among both? Then who was greater between both, Guru and disciple? The king said that Guru is greater. Then the Guru said that he should be punished and the disciple should be left. But the disciple was also ready, and he was saying that he should be punished first. They were quarreling for the punishment, and at last the king asked the Guru why they were fighting, what was the reason behind it. Then the Guru told the king that it was the stake of justice, and by that stake, if anybody was going to be punished first, would be the king in next birth, and who was to be punished second time would be the minister of that king. Listening to this, the foolish king postponed this decision, and he told that the decision will be taken later. Student, that night he called the executioners and told them that during the night the minister and the disciple would be punished. And students, you have studied how the Guru and the disciple were left. They were released from that place. The king had released them, and the king and the minister both had disguised themselves in form of Guru and disciple, and turn by turn, first of all the king had come, and then he was punished, he was executed, and then the disciple had gone, he was executed. Both were dead, but in the morning, when their dead body was seen, the people recognized that they were king and the minister, and at last they were sorrowful, and they thought about the future of their kingdom. Then they thought about the Guru and disciple, and they searched for them, and at last they were brought there, and the people of that kingdom made them the king and the minister. In this way, students, the total story I have told you, you have studied earlier. Now you have to prepare, you have to revise again and again, and what questions will be asked from that chapter, you have to give the answer. Now, chapter the Happy Prince. In this chapter, you have studied how one day a little swallow was going to Egypt, as his friends had gone to Egypt, and on the way, it was when the evening came, the night came, the little swallow wanted to stay there in a city, and out of the city he found that there was a tall column on which the statue of a prince, the statue of a happy prince was established there. And seeing it, he wanted to stay that night, and he went and sat between the feet of that happy prince that was the statue now. But after some time, he felt a drop of water falling on his body. He thought that there were no clouds into the sky from where the water drops were falling on him. Then another drop fell, then another drop. After 3 drops, he looked up and saw that the statue was weeping, and the eyes of that statue were filled of tears. You have studied, students, how the little swallow asked who he was. The statue told that he was a happy prince. While he was alive, he did not know about sorrow, about sadness, and the people were calling him happy prince. But after his death, his statue was made and it was established there. Listening to this, the swallow was surprised, and the swallow told the happy prince that he was going to Egypt, and that night he would stay there. Students, you have studied how the happy prince told the little swallow to pluck out the ruby that was used in the hilt of his sword, and he requested him to take out it and to give to the seamstress, who was now feeling sleepy, and she was embroidering flowers on a satin gown, and her son was now ill, suffering from disease, and he was asking for an apple, but she had nothing to give except river water. So the son was crying now and rolling into the bed. Now, students, you have studied how the little swallow plucked out the ruby from the hilt of that king's sword, and he had given to that seamstress. And again he returned and told the happy prince that he wanted to go to Egypt. But the next day also, the happy prince told the little swallow that there was a playwright who was writing a play, but he could not complete it, and it was cold night, and he was shivering, and there was no fire in the grate, and he was hungry also. He had no firewood. So the prince wanted to give the sapphires. As you have studied that both the eyes of that happy prince were made by using sapphires, and he requested the little swallow to give one of the eye, to take out one of the eye and to give to the playwright. And you have studied that the little swallow had taken out one of the eyes of that happy prince that was made of sapphire, and he had given to the playwright. And he again returned, and he desired to go to Egypt. But students, the happy prince again requested the little swallow to pluck out another eye that was made of sapphire, and to give it to the little match girl that she had gone to purchase the boxes of match, as her father had given her money. But while she was returning, the matches had fallen into the gutter, and she was weeping. And listening to this, the little swallow first of all was not ready to pluck out the sapphires from the statue of that happy prince, because he thought that if he would pluck out the another eye also he would be blind. But at last he was ready and he plucked out the next eye also and he had given this to the little. In this way, students, you have studied that the little swallow had helped them and the happy prince now had been now blind and the ruby from his hilt was given to the seamstress. Students, after that the prince asked little swallow whether he was ready to go to Egypt. He said no. The little swallow desired that he would stay all time with him. And the prince told the little swallow to move into the city and see what was going on. You have studied, students, how the little swallow flew over the city and whatever sorrow of the people he had seen, he introduced the happy prince. He told that there were two boys in the cold night, they were shivering and holding each other to remove the cold, to get them warm. And you have studied how the happy prince again told the little swallow to remove leaf by leaf. Students, as you studied that the statue of that happy prince was made of leaves of gold. It was gilded. So the little swallow removed leaf after leaf and he had helped the needy people of that kingdom. And at last there was nothing precious thing in that statue. The statue was also looking dirty and dull, and next of that kingdom was passing there and he saw that the statue was now dull. Then he ordered to make it fall. And students, the statue of that happy prince was taken to the furnace, but the leaden heart of that statue could not be melted and it was at last thrown hell near the dead body of that swallow. Students, who have studied that the God from heaven ordered one of the angels to bring two precious things from the earth, and the angel came to the earth and he took those two things, the dead body of that little swallow and the leaden heart of that happy prince, and he gave it to the king. The king was very happy and he ordered that the little swallow would sing every day and the prince would also, little prince also would be there. Students, in this way you have studied there this story, and whatever you have to prepare the whole lesson, whole chapter, whatever question will come, so that you have to write total theme of these two lessons you have to keep in your mind. And the questions that are given exercise, there is no matter, those questions will not be asked. As I have told you earlier that multiple choice question will be asked, one question will be given and four answers will be there. You have to select the right choice, right answer. So prepare the whole lesson and next day I will teach you grammar. Thank you.